mass hysteria.
Shouldn't we go to the cellar? Roger, I'm frightened.
I'm going to call the police, the army.
For several years now, certain lunatic elements have proclaimed the existence of flying saucers. I should like to take this opportunity to nail the subject down once and for all. There just ain't no such animal. There is no life on other planets capable of building spaceships. And to interject a purely American note, no country in the world of ours, but ours, has the industrial know-how how to build such a ship.
Oh, shut up.
Here she comes.
Oh, look how it shines.
Oh, right in my rose garden.
General Powers is on the way over. We better leave the house.
Look, oh, silence, Sophie.
And there's a man getting out.
Oh, I feel much better. I'm sure if we ask him, he'll move that thing.
How,
Roger, will you ask him?
how do you know it's really a man and not a monster?
Oh, hi, Ho. I hope the battle hasn't begun yet.
There's no battle here.
Oh, good then. I'm right on time. Please take me to General Robert E. Lee. I have a message for him.
There isn't any General Lee staying here. There's just us and General Powers, who's in Manassas. He's on a mission.
Oh,
Maybe you mean him.
Oh, dear, I am sorry. I seem to have made a mistake. I'd better go back and start all over
But
again.
you've only just arrived. Come in, come in. I don't need to tell you what a pleasure this is, Mr.
Oh, it's Cretan. Offhand, I should say I'm about 100 years out of my way.
What?
It's perfectly apparent. The wrong costume.
Wrong for what?
Well, I mean, I'm in the wrong costume for your century.
Well, it is a bit old-fashioned.
Oh, but I think it's awfully handsome.
Why, thank you. You say,
Come on in, sir, and rest a while. You must be tired after your trip.
yes, I am a bit.
Come, sit right down on the sofa.
Well, I think I'll try this chair over here. I think it's better than I ever imagined.
What's better?
What, this is a house. Is that what you call it? Or is it an apartment?
It's a house, all right.
A real house in the year, now don't tell me. Don't tell me, because I know this period intimately. 1935
No,
AD.
it's not 1935.
Not 1935 AD? Is that a television set over there?
Yes,
Well, let's see. Is it 1965 AD?
1965 AD. It's getting warmer. It's 1958, and you're in the state of Virginia.
Virginia, near
USA.
Manassas. That's the right place, but the wrong year.
What year did you have in mind?
1861 AD, you see. I was on my way to the Battle of Bull Run when something went wrong with my machine, and I landed here instead. That's about 100 years out of the way. But of course, you're very nice. But of course, in fact, I shall give you a word of comfort. Hitler will not conquer the world. He will be exiled to an island in the Atlantic.
Hitler did, Mr. Creighton. He killed himself.
And that was Napoleon on the island.
Oh, so it was. You're perfectly right. But then I never was very good at dates. And of course, my poor head is rather muddled after my trip. I think this is the 20th century. I must collect myself. The real thing.
You aren't an American, are you?
What a delightful thought. No, my dear, I'm not.
Well, then where are you from, Mr. Cretan?
Another place.
On this earth, of course.
No, not on this planet.
Are you from Mars?
Oh, dear, no, no. No one lives on Mars.
Oh,
At
I'm
least
sure
no
you
one that
do.
I know.
You're just teasing us, and this is all some kind of wild publicity stuff.
Incidentally, I'd like to interview you on the television while you're here.
Oh, no. I'm afraid your authorities won't permit it. They're frightfully upset as it is.
How do you know?
Well, I can pick up things. For instance, I know that in a few minutes, A number of people from your army will be here to question me.
Extraordinary.
Why did you come here?
Oh, just a trip. A little pleasure trip. A visit to your small planet. I've been studying you for ages. In fact, one might say you're a hobby of mine, especially this period of your development. And at this particular moment, your civilization is just beginning.
Just beginning, my dear sir?
Well, I only meant the initial stages of any civilization are always the most fascinating. I do hope I don't sound patronizing.
We're very proud. Especially in Virginia.
You say you're proud. Oh, that's one of your more endearing traits.
All right, all right. This place is surrounded by troops. Where is the monster?
I am the monster.
You? Oh, no. What are you dressed up for?
Well, I had hoped to be in the right costume, but unfortunately, I seem to have overshot my mark.
Roger, who is this joker?
That's Mr. Cretan, General Powers. Mr. Cretan arrived in that thing outside. You see, he's from another planet.
Oh, I don't believe it.
Oh, it's perfectly true. We saw him getting out of the spaceship.
Oh, Tom, I'd like you to meet little Ellen. You haven't seen her in years. Ellen, this is General Powers. He's staying for dinner as well. You can stay, can't you? Oh, by the way, this is Conrad Mabry. He's staying as well.
Fine. Captain, go down and look at that ship, but be careful. Don't touch anything. Don't let any of the men near, all right? So you're from another planet.
Yes, indeedy. That's a very smart uniform that you're wearing, but I think I preferred the ones that you used to wear, you know, with the feathers on top.
All right, mister. There's one or two little matters I want cleared up.
Certainly, General.
Which planet are you from?
Oh, none that you've ever heard
Where
of.
is it?
Well, I couldn't begin to tell you.
Is it in the solar system?
No.
In another system?
Well, more or less.
Look, friend, let's not play 20 questions. I just want to know where you're from. The Pentagon requires it.
But my dear friend, it would take me years and years to teach you all you would need to know. And by the time I finished, you would be dead. Because you do die, don't you?
Well, sooner or later, yes.
Such a disagreeable custom. You poor, fragile butterfly. A single brief moment in the sun, then nothing. You see, we don't die.
Well, you're gonna die if it turns out you're a spy of a hostile alien or something like that. Hey?
General Powers, sir.
Yes, well, what did you find?
I don't know, sir.
Well, would you kindly do your West Point best and try to describe the object in question?
Well, it's an uplate spheroid with a 14-foot diameter, and it's made of an unknown metal, and it shines all over, but inside there isn't anything. No instruments, no food, nothing.
What did you do with your instrument board?
With my what? Oh, I don't use one.
How does that thing travel then?
Honestly, I don't know. It just goes.
Now look here, mister. You're in pretty serious trouble. And I suggest you do a bit more cooperation. You don't expect us to believe that that contraption travels around space with no instruments?
Of course it does. We all travel this way. I suppose once upon a time I must have known how all these little cars operated, but I've quite forgotten. After all, General, we're not mechanics, you and I. We mustn't clutter our minds with trivia. It just gets me there, and it gets me back.
I'll go make up the guest room.
Can we use your study, Roger?
Why, by all means.
Use your study. How beguiling. And what will we use it for?
I'm going down and look for the ship.
We'll come with you, Daddy.
Are you deliberately trying to confuse me?
Oh, my, no, not deliberately.
You tell me you're not from this world, but you don't actually live on another planet? That's double talk.
In a sense, I suppose we do live on a planet. Though, actually, we don't, if you see what I mean.
No, I do not.
We live, now, let me see. You have a crude word for it. Let's see. Keep on thinking there, General. That's right. Oh, there it is. It's bobbing around in your mind. Dimension. We live in another dimension, in the suburb of time, you might say.
So what?
The suburbs of time. A very happy face.
All right, all right. Now, the Pentagon requires 1 or 2 forms to be filled out. Now let's start from the beginning. You say you've come here as a tourist.
Yes, I guess that you might say that. I'm a tourist.
Mr. Creighton, I think I should tell you that it's my job to guard the security of this country.
Wow, what you must very interesting work.
And frankly, I think you are a spy, sent here by an alien race to study us preparatory to an invasion.
Oh, that's delicious. Would you say that again? I loved it.
No, I will not say it again. And I suggest you get down to brass tacks, mister. If your people are thinking of invading, they should know that we're ready for them. We'll fight them with everything we've got. We'll fight them with the beaches, with the hydrogen bombs, with poison gas, with broken beer bottles if necessary. We'll fight them on the beaches. We'll fight them in the alleys. We'll fight them.
Oh, General, that's splendid, really splendid. Look, I've got goosebumps all over just listening to you.
I wasn't finished.
I know. However, I should tell you that my people would never dream of invading you.
How do I know that's true?
Well, you don't. And like so many other things down here, you must take it for faith. For instance, I must warn you that I can tell what's inside.
What's inside what?
Your mind.
You're a mind reader?
Well, I don't actually read it, I hear it.
All right. What am I thinking?
Well, if this joker isn't a lunatic, he's a communist spy.
Oh, you could have guessed that. All right, now what am I thinking?
Oh, how amusing. How very, very amusing. Who is Lieutenant General son of a bitch Claypool?
Oh, my God.
And Major General Spotty McClellan? You feel persecuted. You believe these two gentlemen plan to wreck your career.
Believe? I know.
And you also think that if you can handle me, your promotion will be secured. I must say, I think you're a bit optimistic about your career, but believe me, anything that I can do to help, I will. Because I like you, General.
Well, that's very decent of you. I mean, I'm glad you see the wisdom of cooperating. Very well. A, are you the first of your race to visit the Earth?
Oh, I should think so. And even this little visit of mine smacks of the impromptu. I'm a creature of impulse, I fear.
Are there apt to be any more of you arriving in the near future?
Oh, goodness, no. No one would ever dream of visiting you, except me. But then, of course, I'm a hobbyist. I love to gad about.